What's up, Wrestle Scope Nation? Before we dive into today's bombshell, smash that like button right now, because what I'm about to expose is going to shake the entire WWE Universe to its core. You think you know what happened last night at the Royal Rumble? Think again. Let me tell you something that's going to make your blood boil. Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble last night wasn't about talent. It wasn't about being the best performer in that ring, and it sure as hell wasn't about giving the fans what they deserve. No. This was a calculated, cold-blooded business decision that completely disrespects every single superstar who busted their body in that match, and more importantly, it disrespects you, the fans who pay their hard-earned money to watch what's supposed to be competitive wrestling entertainment. I'm about to pull back the curtain on the corporate machinery that's been manipulating your favorite sport, and trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to see WWE in a completely different light. Drop a comment right now telling me if you think Roman deserved this win, because I guarantee your opinion is about to change. Let's rewind for a second. Last night, we watched 30 superstars enter that Royal Rumble match, 30 warriors who trained their entire lives for moments like this. We saw incredible performances from Drew McIntyre, we witnessed CM Punk defy age and gravity, we watched rising stars like Gunther prove why they're the future of this business. But in the end, who stood tall with their arm raised? The same guy who's been force-fed down our throats for the past 4 years, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, and most importantly, WWE's golden cash cow. Now, before the Roman Reigns fanboys flood the comments telling me I'm a hater, let me make something crystal clear. This isn't about Roman's ability. The man is talented, there's no denying that. This is about what his win represents, and more importantly, what it reveals about the machine operating behind the scenes. Here's what WWE doesn't want you to know. 3 weeks ago, there was a creative meeting at WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. In that room sat Triple H, Nick Khan, several board members, and the creative team. They weren't discussing who deserved to win based on storyline merit or fan reaction. They were looking at spreadsheets, merchandise sales, social media engagement metrics, international market penetration, and most importantly, their upcoming negotiations with streaming platforms and international broadcasting deals. You see, Roman Reigns isn't just a wrestler anymore. He's a brand. He's a financial asset that appears on quarterly earnings reports. His image is plastered across every WWE promotional material from Saudi Arabia to South America. When investors ask WWE, who is your top star, they don't want to hear about a rotating roster of main eventers. They want one face, one name, one guaranteed draw, and that's exactly what Roman represents. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is where you need to pay close attention. WWE is currently in the middle of renegotiating several major deals. Their international streaming rights are up for renewal. They're expanding into new markets in Africa and Asia, and every single one of these negotiations requires them to present a stable, marketable, corporate-friendly face of the company. Roman Reigns, with his Hollywood connections, his mainstream appeal, and his carefully crafted image, checks every single box. Now, let's talk about the match itself. Did you notice how the Final Four were booked? It wasn't random. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Gunther, and Roman Reigns. Each one represents a different demographic that WWE desperately needs to satisfy. Drew for the international audience, Punk for the older fans who crave authenticity, Gunther for the wrestling purists, and Roman for the casual mainstream audience and corporate partners. The problem is, WWE can't afford to take a risk late now, not with billions of dollars on the table. So what did they do? They went with the safe bet, the calculated bet, the bet that protects their bottom line and keeps shareholders happy. They chose financial security over creative integrity, and that decision happened weeks before any of those superstars even stepped into that ring last night. But it goes even deeper. Let's examine Roman's booking over the past 6 months. Notice how he's been kept relatively fresh, limited matches, special appearances, protected at every turn. That's not accident. That's strategic asset management. WWE has been preserving their investment, making sure that when the time came for a big win like the Royal Rumble, Roman would have maximum impact and minimal wear and tear. Meanwhile, other superstars have been grinding week after week, putting their bodies on the line, only to be told they're not quite ready for the main event push. And here's the part that should really make you angry. There were at least 3 other superstars in that match last night who could have won and created more compelling storylines for WrestleMania. Imagine CM Punk winning and challenging for the title in what could be his final WrestleMania run. Picture Drew McIntyre finally getting his WrestleMania moment in front of a full crowd after being robbed during the pandemic era. Or what about Gunther, who's been absolutely dominant and could have cemented himself as the next megastar with a Royal Rumble victory leading to a championship coronation? But no, we got the predictable, corporate-approved outcome. Roman wins, Roman goes to WrestleMania, Roman sells tickets and t-shirts, and the cycle continues. It's the same formula they've used for decades, just with a different name at the top. Now, WWE will tell you this is what's best for business. They'll point to ratings, they'll show you revenue numbers, they'll talk about how Roman draws money. And you know what? They're not wrong about that. Roman does draw money. But here's the question nobody in that corporate boardroom is asking. At what cost? What about the cost to the locker room morale when guys see the same person getting opportunity after opportunity regardless of how hard they work?
What about the cost to long-term storytelling when everything becomes predictable and formulaic? What about the cost of fan investment when we can see the outcomes being dictated by spreadsheets rather than passion? WWE used to be about creating moments that took our breath away. Stone Cold winning the Royal Rumble in 1998 wasn't a corporate decision, it was a tidal wave of fan demand that couldn't be ignored. Daniel Bryan's journey to WrestleMania 30 happened because the fans literally forced WWE's hand. Those were organic, magical moments born from genuine connection between performers and audience. But last night was a quarterly earnings strategy wrapped in pyrotechnics and commentary hype. And here's the most frustrating part. Roman Reigns is good enough that he doesn't need this kind of corporate protection. He's talented enough to get over without being handed every major accolade. But WWE has become so risk-averse, so dependent on sure things, that they've forgotten how to create stars organically. They'd rather protect one asset than invest in building multiple main eventers who could carry the company. The reality is that WWE has created a system where only the chosen one gets the real opportunities, while everyone else fights for scraps and mid-card relevance. And last night's Royal Rumble was just the latest example of this broken system in action. Look, I know some of you are going to disagree with me. Some of you love Roman Reigns and think you absolutely deserve to win. And you know what? You're entitled to that opinion. But I'm asking you to think critically about what you're watching. Question the narratives being presented to you. Understand that WWE is a multi-billion-dollar corporation first and a wrestling company second. The real reason Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble last night has nothing to do with what happened in that ring and everything to do with what's happening in corporate boardrooms. It's about protecting investments, satisfying shareholders, and maintaining the status quo in an industry that desperately needs evolution and unpredictability. Does this mean Roman isn't talented? Absolutely not. Does it mean his reign of dominance hasn't had some incredible moments? No, of course not. But it does mean that the playing field isn't level, the outcomes aren't as uncertain as they pretend to be, and the business side of WWE often trumps the creative side. The saddest part? We as fans deserve better. We deserve unpredictability. We deserve organic star-making moments. We deserve to feel like anything can happen, not like we're watching a predetermined corporate strategy play out in real time. So, Wrestle Scope Nation, I need you to do something for me right now. If you agree with anything I said in this video, if you think WWE needs to change their approach, if you're tired of predictable booking, smash that like button. Drop a comment below telling me who you think should have won the Royal Rumble and why. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we're not afraid to speak the truth here at Wrestle Scope, even when it's uncomfortable. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know. Let's start a conversation about what we really want from WWE. Together, we have a voice, and it's time we use it. I'll see you in the next one. Stay scoped in and never stop questioning the narrative.